All right, we are live, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Lake County. I am your host, David Rich. We have a very special guest on tonight, Sara Ghorbani. Sara, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, David?
Doing very well, thank you. So we had a couple scheduling obstacles to overcome over the last several weeks, but we made it here. Finally, persistence is the key to success. So thank you for coming on, Sara. Sara is here. I'm just going to read it right off your website because it says it so perfectly. Sara Ghorbani is a women's rights activist, educator, translator, editor, content creator, and social media manager. She has a master's degree in English language and literature and has been a teacher for more than 22 years. That's awesome. Sara currently works as Yasmin Mohammed's right-hand woman, as well as a communications coordinator for the Clarity Coalition, which we're going to discuss about sometime during the show. Can I read the second paragraph? Because that's kind of the thick of it. As an ex-Muslim woman from Iran, Sara has been working relentlessly to raise awareness about Islamo trauma and gender apartheid in Islamic countries and communities, and to counter Islamo-fascist propaganda in today's world. Sara is a member of United Against Gender Apartheid campaign and works to raise awareness about the oppression of women in Islamic nations and to pursue legal criminalization of gender apartheid around the world. Okay, that's no small petty description. That's a long list of very impressive things there. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for that. So like I was telling you, as you know, I discovered you and Yasmin on Lear Keith's podcast, and I was just so intrigued by it because they were both powerful statements and stories that you each went through individually. Would you like to start off with talking about the Clarity Organization, or would you like to go into some of your personal stories first, like what got you to this point? Whatever you'd like to do.
What got me to this point was surviving the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Yeah.
That's basically the bulk of it. I survived. So many people didn't. And it affected me. It affected the way I look at the world. It shaped who I am, basically, because I was born and raised into an Islamic society that told me I'm half a man.
Yeah.
Legally, systemically, culturally, I'm half a man. I'm worth half. And when I was 6 years old, they put me in hijab and they told me that I'm an adult now and I'm responsible for the honor of the men in my life. And if I dishonor anybody, they have the right to kill me and there won't be any punishment for them because they are restoring honor to the household and to the family name, basically. And from a very young age, it affects you. It changes who you are. It shapes who you are, basically. And I was told that I'm half my brother, which was mind-boggling to me because it made no sense.
Well, it doesn't make any mathematical or logical sense. You can see
at all.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
And as a 6-year-old, it's just you try to make sense of the world around you,
Right.
but it doesn't mean like it's not real. It's such a cognitive dissonance with everything you know up to that point. You are the same, you're equal, you're living in this household that's not religious at all. And then you go into the society, you go to school, you have to put that hijab on, and then you're told that, oh, you're half a man now. What happened? What changed like overnight? And then when you're hit 9 years old, you have reached puberty, you're an adult at age 9, you're ready to be married off. If your father wants that, you have no control over what you want to do, who you want to get married to. At 9 years old.
Is that because of this the whole thing in the Quran?
Yeah, it's because...
Is that the standard for that age?
It's not the standard, but it's the custom because it's now there's no minimum age for marriage in Iran.
Holy cow!
Fathers can, yeah, and I don't get I don't get to give consent. I don't have any control. My father is the person who marries me off at any age I am. Doesn't matter at all. Like I could be 6 months old. Yep.
Before puberty?
Yes.
Like you're not. Yeah, your body's not even like.
Doesn't matter.
Designed to be.
Doesn't matter.
Sexual.
Muhammad married off Aisha when she was 6.
Yeah.
It's in the hadith. And then they consummated the marriage. I don't know what kind of language you use on your podcast, so I'm trying to be...
That word works. No,
yeah.
you can say, you can swear.
Yeah, thank you. Because I will end up swearing at some point. And because Muhammad did it, it's custom, it's sunnah, basically. This is the way of Muhammad. You can't change it, because if you change it, then you are an apostate, and then you'll be punished my death, basically. I'm sorry, my cat needs to be the center of attention.
No,
for
at first I was wondering what you were doing, and I was saying, that's a cat's tail. No, I
It's a
love
cat.
cats.
Yes,
I love them.
I'm sorry. Austin needs to be the center of attention for all
I love
your.
it. No, that's fine. She can get on the show here. That's fine.
Thank you. So basically, that's as soon as you are born, your father owns you. That's called having a male guardian. David, I'm 43 years old. I have a male guardian now. My husband, who is 5 years younger than me, is my male guardian.
Okay.
Think about that for a second. Remember what happened to Britney Spears and how we had
With
all
her
of that
dad?
with her dad. And she had mental health issues and she's incapable of it. I'm a fairly intelligent woman.
Yeah.
I've been working for 22 years old. I have a male guardian who decides if I get a passport, if I get an education, if I get a job, if I'll have children or not have children, if I get a surgery that is necessary for my body or not, if I can leave the house or not. As soon as I go back to Iran, I become half a man and he owns me.
Is your husband from Iran?
He's from Iran too. And Canada doesn't do, I'm in Canada, I'm in Toronto, I'm a Canadian citizen. But as soon as I go back to Iran, my husband can say, I don't want you to leave the country. And I'll be banned from ever leaving the country. And I'll be stuck in Iran and the Canadian government cannot do anything to protect me or help me.
I'm hoping your husband wouldn't do that.
No, he's an
But you're saying that like it's still the case that he certainly could. I got you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. There are men who take their, like, I don't remember the name of this woman whose husband took her 4 children to Iran. And she is Canadian. The husband is Iranian. He was here as a refugee. He just packed the kids and just went to Iran about 10 years ago. They have no news. They don't know where the children are. They don't know if they can bring them back. Like, there's nothing. Canadian citizens, 4 Canadian children that are citizens of Canada. And there's nothing the government can do to bring them back because that's the law of the country. So as soon as I'm born, I have a male guardian who's my father. He can marry me off to anybody he wants. And then whoever is my husband becomes my male guardian. When my husband dies, if I have a son, he becomes my male guardian. If I don't have a son, uncles, grandfathers, I don't know. A male relative has to be my male guardian throughout my life. I could be a 72-year-old woman and I still have a man deciding for me, for my body, for my life. That's called the male guardianship. That's a law.
It's about a half an inch away from being full-blown slavery.
Yes. Absolutely. We talk about slavery being abolished. It's not.
No.
It's really not. Not in the traditional sense, not in the gender sense. That's why we call it a gender apartheid.
Could you talk about that? Because some people are like, what does that mean?
It's basically an apartheid based on your gender. Right. It's a second-class citizenship or status of a second-class citizen for women in the society. Look at Afghanistan, for example. It's another example of a gender apartheid, which is worse than what is happening in the Islamic regime. Women cannot leave the house. Women cannot get an education. Women cannot have a window to look out. Women cannot look at the road with both their eyes showing. They have to cover one of their eyes and they can only look out through one of their eyes. Women cannot have any sort of education. Like, they banned all kinds of education for women last week. They will be married off to their husbands, and the husband can have up to 4 wives, permanent wives, and 99 temporary wives. Like, it's, if they want to go shopping, they need to have a male guardian to go shopping with them in Afghanistan. Iran has more freedom because we've been fighting for it for much longer, but it's basically the same thing. If you go to Dubai, you see all these women in their abayas and there's a little boy walking around with them because they need to have a male guardian going out with them. So it's the same thing all throughout, and they want to say, oh, that's not the real Islam. This is the real Islam, but not all Muslims, but those are different from... The point of the matter is that basically, fundamentally, they're all the same. These are the laws in Islam. So as a woman, I have a status of a second-class citizen. If somebody kills me, and if somebody kills my brother gets the equivalent of 100 camels, whatever it's worth in society now, because that was the old law. Men would get equivalent of 100 camels. Then my father could say, I forgive you. So you killed my son, you give me 100 camels, we're done. If somebody kills me, they have to give my father 50 camels. If my father wants this person to be punished, he has to pay the equivalent of 50 camels to his family to get punishment for my murder. And it's still going on in Iran. This is something that we had to contend with when a friend's cousin was murdered on the streets when we were 17 years old. 2 thieves attacked her. She got murdered. They went free after a couple of years. Because the father of the girl who was murdered had to pay the equivalent of 150 camels to get these 2 men punished.
Wow.
It didn't matter that there were witnesses, that there was a citizen arrest, they saw what happened. Nothing mattered.
That's crazy.
Because she's a woman in that society. So that's basically a gender apartheid. My husband can marry 4 wives at the same time simultaneously. And they say, oh, he needs your permission. He doesn't need my permission. I can't have 2 boyfriends. I'll be stoned to death. But he can have up to 4 wives.
Right.
So that's a gender apartheid. Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you leave Iran to come over to Canada or the West in general?
I left Iran in about 16 years ago. I went to Dubai for a couple of years. I couldn't stay in Iran anymore. I realized if I stay, I'd probably have a heart attack and die. I was married to a very Muslim, very narcissistic man at the time. And I went to Dubai and I stayed in Dubai for a couple of years and I got divorced from him and I met my current husband. And then we decided to come to Canada, hoping it will be different here. We would be accepted because we were extremely left-leaning, very liberal. We thought this is our tribe. We are very radical in Iran. They will kill us or we will have heart attacks or get cancer or something because we can't have this kind of life. We can't live with this kind of law and legal system and the society in general. And then we came to Canada more than a decade ago and we were told instantly that we are not allowed to talk about Islam because it's Islamophobic. We are racist, we are bigoted, we are Nazis, we are discriminating. It's only our experience that is bad. Islam is not the problem. I am the problem. Hijab is freedom. Islam is a feminist religion. So I was silenced right off the bat. And it's my birthright. It's my religion. I have every right to criticize it. But if you talk about it, it's Islamophobia. And I try to understand the mentality behind it, David. I try to think, okay, I'm from a third world country. I'm an ex-Muslim. I'm a Middle Eastern woman. I have never been educated in your system. You tell me why hijab is empowering. Yeah. You tell me why Islam is a feminist religion. What am I misunderstanding? You tell me. And I waited for about a decade. And then Gina Mahsa Amini was murdered in Iran. And women in Iran started cutting their hair because it's a sign of mourning for us, burning their hijab, dancing on the street. And they were instantly attacked in the West for being Islamophobic, for attacking Islam. And I thought, to hell with you all. I can't just sit here silently and pretend that I understand what you're doing just because I want to be a part of this tribe and I want to be accepted as a left-leaning liberal woman. I don't care anymore. You're abandoning my people. I'm done with you guys. I'm stepping off this ship. I'm done. So I started talking about my experience and what we call Islamotrauma to combat the idea of Islamophobia, because it's not a phobia. Phobia means irrational fear.
It's unwarranted fear, right? Exactly.
Exactly. Like if I have a phobia of the heights could it doesn't make any sense. Why am I afraid? But then Islamophobia, I know I'm an ex-Muslim. Yeah. They would definitely kill me. There's death sentence for 12 different countries around the world in 2016 for ex-Muslims, for apostasy, for blasphemy. And then I thought, I have to talk about this because nobody else is. What is happening in there? What is happening to the West? Why is so much fear of dissent? You guys created this society with this freedom of speech, and then you're just silencing me and shushing me for talking about my experience and telling me that my experience is not valid, that you understand better than me. What the hell is wrong with you guys? And I started speaking up. And then Yasmin found me. And I realized that I'm not alone, actually. I'm not crazy. There's nothing wrong with me. There's a whole world out there that understands me and sympathizes and empathizes and actually understand and have questions. And they want to talk to us and they want to learn and they want to listen. As soon as I say Islamotrauma, everybody lights up because they learn this concept that they can use to defend their understanding and their fear and their pain and their suffering. And it makes them feel empowered. And they want to listen to me. And it felt liberating. I felt so sane. I felt so seen. It helped.
Well, that's good. Yeah, no, I mean, I think societies just generally tend to over generalize their movements in course against like what would be considered a minority, or from some an oppressed people and that marginalized people and that kind of thing. And I don't know about in Canada, but in America, I mean, Islam is not very welcome by most people in America, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just, so I think there's a lot of people on the liberal left who sort of like overprotect them by shunning all criticisms of the religion or the cultures and that thereof, that kind of thing, which is not great. Like you said, like with or without your own personal experiences, you're an individual human person. I mean, you have free will and the ability to reason and a voice. Those are the only properties of your identity that warrant your ability to speak freely about anything you want.
Yes.
Your personal experiences give you a little extra added amount of impetus or prowess, I should say. But it doesn't necessitate it. Like I can speak out against anything I feel like it because I'm a human person. And I'm also highly educated, which gives me a little edge. But go ahead, sorry.
You should actually, because when you see that there's unfairness and injustice in the world, it's your moral duty to stand up for people who don't have a voice. Women in Afghanistan do not have a voice. It's the right thing to do. Why are we so afraid of doing the right thing in the West? We actually have an Office of Anti-Islamophobia in Canada. Because we are not allowed, we are not allowed to criticize Islam. There is a new concept going around called anti-Palestinian racism, or APR, which makes it illegal to criticize Palestinians as a nation. Like, why?
You can't criticize Hamas?
You can't. I got attacked in a mall here in Canada at the end of December because I was wearing a t-shirt that said FCK HMS, fuck Hamas. I designed that t-shirt. I'm very proud of that t-shirt.
HMS, that's a clever way of getting away with that in public.
And there's a watermelon in it. So it's very easy, but we got attacked by somebody in a mall who kept harassing us and stalking us. Why are you wearing this? You are not allowed to wear it. I'm like, I'm not back in the Islamic Republic of Iran. How dare you tell me what to wear? I'll wear anything I'd like to wear. I'm done being your subject and being your, subservient to you. But they have that kind of mentality and they look at you and they think they can decide for you what to do.
I'm wagering. I would wager that person probably doesn't even understand the full extent. I turned my volume down. I don't know what's doing that.
It's okay.
They even had like a sufficient understanding of what's happening over there. You see that a lot. Like you see that a lot, like in the college campuses, at least here. Like a lot of these college kids, so they don't know. They don't understand. They just see a chance to kind of rebel and riot and scream make their voices heard, and that's fine. But
virtue signaling,
you go there as like a journalist, and you start asking them questions. They don't know what they're talking about.
And that's painful.
You're right. I mean, it's an irony that a free liberal pluralistic society would ban that sort of speech. You hear about a lot of that going on in England and the UK now. I don't remember these aren't exact numbers, but they will illustrate or exemplify the point. Like last year, like about 4,000 or 5,000 people went to jail for what they said online in England. In Russia, it was like 200.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you'd expect the numbers to be the opposite of that.
Yeah. So it's really a sad state of time when Russia is the person who's doing better than like the UK when it comes to freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I want to offend. I came to Canada. I came to a Western country. I went through the trauma of immigration and being separated from everything that I know and I've lived it because I want to have the right to offend. That's a sacred right for me as a human. I need to have that right. I need to be able to say stupid things and just be left alone to be stupid.
Right.
Like everybody should have that right. I offend you, you offend me, walk away. You don't have to attack me, you don't have to censor me, you don't have to decide for me what to say or what not to say or how to live my life. It's insulting, it's dehumanizing. I don't like I we went to the police station and we talked about this whole situation. We made a complaint, official complaint. That won't go anywhere in this country. But the officers were lovely. They were very kind. They were very understanding. They said they had seen the video and he's doing this gesture that he's going to shoot at you. As like, we are so glad you're here because we saw the video. Like they saw the video before we went in. And then one of them started asking, why did you wear this t-shirt? Like, what was the intent behind wearing this t-shirt in the public? Like, he could attack you because he's triggered. I'm like, the intent is because I have a freedom of expression and I want to exercise it. I want to offend people. Well, he was offended. He should have walked away. He should not have attacked me. And he's like, but when you wear it in like in somewhere that people are protesting, for example, you're giving them consent. I'm like, number one, it wasn't a protest. I was at a mall. I was on my phone answering emails. Number two, I see a lot of women wearing hijab. That triggers me. That still triggers me to this day. You don't see me attacking them and removing their hijab and forcing them not to wear it. I'm an adult. I walk away. I self-regulate. It's a normal thing that you're do that. How dare you tell me what to wear and what not to wear?
Yeah. No, you're right. That in itself is overwhelmingly offensive.
Yes.
Because okay, well, if you get to do it to me, then I get to do it to you.
Exactly.
Like, okay, well, I'm offended by your hijab. Take it off.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know if you heard this as a little girl, but you ever heard the little kid thing? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yes.
It's that kind of thing. Like, it's a word, dude. It's a set of words. It's a sentence. It's a phrase. I understand it has meaning, and words are very powerful. Look, I don't want to underestimate the power of language, but you have the ability to merely ignore it and walk away.
Exactly.
Unlike physical force, if somebody comes up and starts tearing your clothes off or something like that,
Exactly.
So.
But the unfortunate thing is that here, especially in Canada, they have had this cuddling and they have had this special treatment for so long that they feel entitled. They feel like they are in Canada, so everybody has to bow to them. Everybody has to respect. There's no respect for Islam in me. I'll never any part. I die before I say I respect this part of Islam.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing in this religion. Like, it's only violence, misogyny, homophobia, anti-Semitism. It's vile. It's brutal. There's nothing in it. They say there are good Muslims. Okay, there are good Muslims despite Islam, not because of Islam. There's nothing in that religion. And I know this religion. I grew up with this religion. I got educated in this. I survived this religion. I can give you verse after verse after verse.
Sure.
That tells me that anything that tells you a woman is half a man, should inherit half a man, her witness in court is half a man. You can marry a 6-year-old and have sex with this 6-year-old, but do not penetrate, but do it after 9 years old. That's pedophilia. We are like, and they say, well, we have pedophiles in the West. Yeah, what do you do with your pedophiles in the West? You put them in
the
prison.
Federal government, they protect them, but okay.
Yes, lower levels. Okay. Let's talk about the majority, lower levels.
Right.
If you don't have money, if you don't have power. Right. But in Iran, they 2 years ago, I don't know about the statistics last year, 2 years ago, about 1,250 girls between the ages of 10 to 15 gave birth. 10-year-olds giving birth. And then they give this child and her child to the man who's abusing her and say, go home, daddy. Congratulations.
Wow. That's literally making my stomach ill.
Thank you. That's a normal reaction you should have. Not telling you, but we have pedophiles in the West.
What does that mean? Like, who would justify something by saying that? Like, well, we have those too. Well, we have serial killers too, so I guess it's okay. Like, I don't know. What does that mean?
I know. It feels like we are arguing with this pool of stupidity. But if you don't argue back, they'll take over.
Right.
because the rest of the world thinks, okay, so this is normal. So maybe I have to respect it because I'm kind, I'm inclusive. I've learned throughout my life in the West that these are values that everybody respects. So they should, like, that's the problem with the West. You guys project. You project your values, you project your
Yeah.
standards, you project your goodness, your kindness, your empathy into a world that doesn't understand it.
Right.
And when I try to explain it, I get attacked because I'm villainizing this world that I know instead of listening to what I'm saying, that you guys are in danger right now.
Yeah. There's a statement on the right here from Alexandria Keating Sofiakis. I think this goes back to what before what we were just talking. I think it was about the free speech thing. Not to mention all the anti-BDS legislation. I don't know what that is, but and people losing their jobs over radical takes like I oppose genocide. Free speech is an aspiration, but not a reality yet, in my opinion. Yeah, you're kind of
Valid.
seeing it on a multitude of sides. That like it's just yeah, that's whenever like a centralized authority starts cracking down on what the populace is saying, merely what they're saying
Yeah,
or writing or wearing whatever else, you got serious problems. I mean, that's like the one way road to tyranny, 100%. You betcha.
exactly.
That you always go at like when in Nazi Germany before they like got full blown. He went after where do you go after? You go after the intelligentsia and the people who speak like at the universities and stuff like that, where freedom of thought and expression is huge. Because you need the open forum of ideas in order to
Exactly.
learn about the world and get to the truth. God forbid anybody try to do that nowadays.
Exactly.
You need free speech to do that. You block off that roadway and then it's over, man. It's over. So good for you for standing up. Have you had
Thank you.
any instances, such experiences with any local legislators, law enforcement, like that on the crackdown of speech in Canada? Have you talked to them like, hey, this is not okay that you're doing this or anything like that? Or
Not with the legislators, but like with police officers, we've had, like, when I went in, out of the 6 officers that I talked to about the incident with the T-shirt,
Hmm.
5 of them were amazingly supportive
Sure.
and kind and understanding. And
Right.
the only one who tried to play the devil's advocate got the response that he didn't expect. Because again, I'm a fairly intelligent woman and I've survived these people. So I know how to respond. You can't play games with me. You
Oh,
can't just try and just, it doesn't work for me that, oh, maybe you instigated it, or maybe, but no, you can't blame me. It's like, it's akin to telling somebody, sorry, like a rape victim, a survivor, what were you wearing?
right.
How short was your skirt? Like, how dare you? You don't talk to me like that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly spot on, right? I've heard that in like I studied philosophy in college, and ethics is a branch of philosophy. And I remember that coming up in an ethics class once, and it was very tense. You
Yeah.
could cut the air like with a knife because of that. Because some people were like saying like, no, you kind of brought it upon yourself by dressing this way, and everybody else was like, whoa,
You don't
whoa.
say you
You
don't
don't
say that,
say
like,
that, man. That's not
not
even
anymore.
no,
Yeah. Like, there are lines that I keep saying I like to offend people, but there are lines that we don't cross, because then it's not about being offensive. Then it's about being evil. And I don't condone that. Like, I always say people have the right to be stupid.
Yes, you do.
If you want to be stupid, go be stupid in that corner. Don't
leave,
expose your, like,
leave my corner.
don't yeah, exactly. Don't force me to just play games and be part of your stupid. I'm not gonna do that. I have my own stupid to contend with. I'm good, thank you. I don't need any more.
We all have some degree of stupid. No,
Exactly.
nobody's perfect.
Exactly. So I'm fine with whatever life has given me. I'll deal with it. But you wanna, like, if you believe that hijab is liberating, good for you. Go do that in that corner. Don't force me to play games with you and say, yes, you're right, because I won't be able to. My face has subtitles. It's impossible for
I
me to
like
just
that.
and say, oh my God, yes, you're so correct. No, you're stupid. You have a kink shame, like oppression kink. Go, do that. Fine. I'm not kink shaming you. You have an oppression kink. Go, have fun. It doesn't mean I want to play games with you. I'm done. Like, there's a line that I never cross. Hijab will never, ever, ever be empowering to me. It's always a sign of
understand
oppression.
how it could be empowering. I mean,
Tell that to people who started World Hijab
it's
Day.
forced upon them. That's like the very definition of disempowering is when something is forced on you.
And they say there are people who choose it.
Okay, I guess if the woman like knew fully well what it meant, what it was going to do, pros and cons for her, and she freely chose. I don't know. What do you
No, here's the thing.
Okay.
I do know, because number one, from a very young age, we get brainwashed, we get coerced, we get stigmatized, we get forced, we get harassed, we get imprisoned, we get murdered into hijab. For as long as there is even one woman on this planet who goes through any of these 7 different stages, it's not a choice anymore.
Gotcha.
Even if it's one woman out of all the how many billions of people that we have. If you actually say you choose it, you are complicit in my oppression.
Right.
Like out of just alliance, out of allegiance, you have to put your hijab away and say, I'm not wearing it until everybody is free. When everybody is free, then I'll start wearing it. Then that becomes a choice. Then I can understand it.
Okay, yeah.
It would be like saying there were some slaves who liked the slavery because they had good masters. Just think about how asinine and insulting and dehumanizing that kind of analogy is. Just because some slaves were happy, we're going to keep slavery. Can you say that to a black person?
No,
how would they react?
Anybody? No, that's ridiculous.
They will punch you, right? Yeah. But then, as a woman, I'm expected to smile every time I see somebody wearing hijab or choosing hijab or celebrating World Hijab Day. How is, like, Jina Mahsa Amini was murdered in 2022.
That was the woman that was like got killed on the street, like by the moral police or something like that.
Morality police. Yes.
Who the hell has morality police? That's so weird. I'm sorry.
Iran does. The Islamic Republic. Yeah. Because they need to control us. There was a time that, I've got so many wild stories for you. I remember white socks were forbidden when I was a kid. As a child, I was not allowed. Yeah. I was not allowed to wear white socks to school. Like, I don't know if you remember, there was a time that we had clips up here and we would have our hair. So we would do it under our hijab because it's fashionable and the Westerners are doing so. If you want to do it in Iran, that was illegal.
Wow.
I could not have my glasses here.
Like, you just wanted to take them down for a second to kind of like do something like rub your eye or something? No,
that's good? Illegal.
It's illegal. It's not even like a social taboo. It's illegal.
No. It was illegal. I would get arrested. The morality police would arrest me. I could not put my jeans inside my boots. For a whole winter, it became illegal. I could not, like, women could not, I've never smoked, like, I've never been a smoker. Women were not allowed to smoke cigarettes. It was illegal.
Really? But men could sit there and just puff away all night?
Yes. Like, for a long time, we were not even allowed to have ice cream. You're licking ice cream outside. Men would not be able to control like, you're seducing men. Like,
see, that seems to be, to me, the core of it is like women are forced to like cover themselves because men can't handle their own libido.
Exactly.
You know, like, again, like how insulting and offensive it is to say to somebody who has been raped that it was at least partially their fault because of how they dress. Like, no, it's not, because men need to learn to control themselves. Okay, that does not, I don't care how scantily clad a woman is or how, conventionally hot she is or sexy or whatever else. You don't do that.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like telling that to children from a very young age, brainwashing them into carrying this burden for the whole society. I'm a child. I trust the adults in my life. And they tell me in order to be safe, I have to dress a certain way, act a certain way, think a certain way, speak a certain way, be a certain way, to be a good Muslim. Because even if my parents were not really religious when I was young, but you have all this society that is watching you. Okay. Yes. Like, my dad was not at all ever. My mom, for a short time, she became very religious because she thought that's the way to be, because it's the Santa Claus fallacy. It's just, I'm here, I have to do this. There's no other way around it. Right. But then she came to Canada and she went through this whole reform, like, what is happening? how is this even possible for this secular country to be this happy and kind and successful and safe, and our country is like a hellhole at this point. So it took her a while to realize what's happening. But the problem is, in Islam, we have this concept of enjoining everybody to do good and forbidding them to do evil, which basically makes everybody a spy in everybody's life.
Right.
I see you walking down the street and you are just, I don't know, talking on your phone. And I'm like, David, you're talking too loud. You're attracting people's attention. Why are you smiling? Why are you wearing this? Why is your hair showing? And it's just random people, like you don't know them. It's not just the Basij or the morality police. Everybody has the right to tell you this because everybody wants to go to heaven, and we go to heaven as a collective. If one of us goes to hell, everybody will have to pay for it. If I see you do something wrong and I don't say anything, I'm committing that sin with you. That's how it works. So collectively, we start meddling into each other's lives and telling each other what to do and how to dress and how to think and what to do. And like, it's a whole system of spies working for the government, basically.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's intense. Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, collectivism is kind of evil in its own right.
Yes.
You know, when you sort of like just, you know, individuals become these nameless, faceless, you know, things within a collective system, and it's the body of the entirety that counts only, and not the individual. That's
exactly. Yes.
So No Hijab Day. Talk about that. Obviously, we know what that means, but like, when is it? When was it? Is it like, has it happened yet, or what is it?
No, it's on February 1st. Okay. So 9 years ago,
Sunday.
This is what Yasmin started this because we had World Hijab Day, and she was so depressed that she basically all she could do is burn hijab and then put the video of her burning her hijab on Twitter. And it was like wildfire. It just caught, everybody started watching it. Then the next year she's like, now let's everybody do it. And then the next year they start, like every year there's a theme for it. Like one year we had writings on our bodies, no to hijab, fuck hijab, no hijab, things like that. Like you do, 1 year you just show your hair, 1 year you're drinking. Like every year we had a theme. So this year Yasmin decided to dedicate No Hijab Day to brave women of Iran. And I'm going to get a little emotional because of everything that's been happening in Iran. I apologize. Sure. No, it's been a very difficult month, in past month. So Yasmin decided to dedicate this month to the brave women of Iran who've been fighting hijab for as long as we've lived. Because in 1979, the mullahs decided that hijab is mandatory. And women came out on International Women's Day in 1979. And there was a 6-day protest, and then they were arrested and suppressed, and it went underground basically, but it's been continuous. I always say, I'm 43 years old. I've been fighting the regime for 46 years, now 47. It's generational. It's in our blood. We have to. There is no way around it. Mm-hmm. Hamad Arabi was a doctor. She was a child psychologist. She took off her hijab and set herself on fire to protest hijab. Hamad Arabi, Dr. Hamad Arabi. Like when I say it's been going on for a term, there are women throughout the history in Iran who've been fighting hijab one way or another. So Hamad Arabi set herself on fire in 1994. It's not just Mahsa Jina Amini who got murdered 3 years ago. We have a long list of women who've been murdered throughout this past 46, 47 years. Arrested, imprisoned, raped, harassed, stoned to death, executed, because of different reasons, but they're all fighting this regime. So No Hijab Day this year is gonna be on Sunday. There are about 4 or 5 different cities around the world. So this was Lear's idea to take it out in the world. Oh, because it was really interesting because she joined us and she's like, let's do something. And I'm like, we were sitting there thinking, what do? We are so tired. I couldn't even dream that big, that people would join us, that we would have this movement outside our homes. This is the extent of my imagination, is write something on your body to show that you are angry at this point. And then she said, no, let's go out. Let's take a bridge. Like let's take, I don't know, street, let's do something. So we started designing banners, we started designing t-shirts. Everything is on nohijabday.com. It's too late now to get those for the protests that are coming up, but people are more than welcome to go look at the website. I've designed most of those t-shirts. I'm very proud of them, actually. They're beautiful. There are a couple of hoodies, there are banners. Lear has designed the banners. She's amazing in everything she's doing. So I think there's one happening in Washington, D.C., there's one in San Francisco, there's one in Vancouver, there's one in Brussels. Like, there are different places around the world that people are, there's one in England, Kelly J. Keane is doing England, UK. So there are different people who are joining us, and we are planning this thing at noon on Sunday. And if there's no protest in your city, all you need to do is just pick up a placard or a poster or something, write on it, No Hijab Day, take a picture, send it to Yasmin. She's going to make a collage, she's going to post it everywhere. This is how we resist. This is how we show solidarity with women in Iran and Afghanistan who don't have a voice, who are getting murdered, who are being forced to be subjugated. And if they dare raise their voice, they get killed. You have a voice, use your voice. You have the freedom, use your freedom. Do something good with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. If like you said, if nothing else, post it on your Facebook page.
Exactly.
Get the word out there. Just the phrase "No Hijab Day."
That's it.
People will
just
know
the hashtag free from
Yeah,
hijab, no hijab day. That's the hashtag Yasmin created, free from hijab, and then no hijab day. Just tell us that you stand with us, that you see us, that you see our struggles. That's enough for me to feel sane and to feel seen. Because when I say Islamo trauma, I'm not talking figuratively. My brain is shaped into thinking that they are allowed to tell me what to do, and I have to prove myself day in and day out to be here, that I deserve to exist, that I'm a full-blown human, that I don't need to do anything specific to just breathe. I have every right to be here just as much as the next person.
Yes.
It's a real trauma. I'm working on it. I've been working on it for the past 7 years with a couple of therapists. I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to put my brain back together, just to understand the fact that I'm a complete normal human and I just deserve to be here as much as anybody else.
And I'm sorry to hear that you're going to have to.
Thank you.
Because it seems so obvious. It's so basically true, fundamentally true, that you're a human being. You have the right to be here like anybody else and live your life the way you want. Like that's easy. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to fight for it against
Tell that to my
cognitive
brain.
dissonance towards it is a real. That's an awful situation to be in, and I'm really sorry.
Thank you. But I have to also raise awareness about the real consequences of what we go through, because a lot of people look at us and I'm capable, I'm talented, I do a lot of things to fight with my demons, and people look at those things and they think she's fine. But in reality, it's a struggle. Sure. It's a mental health issue that we don't talk about because we are not allowed to, because we are told that we are demonizing a whole group of people who've enslaved us for 1400 years. And we are told that we are not allowed to talk about it. And you look at everybody else going around talking about their mental health issues and their whatever they're struggling with and all the injustices that they're fighting, and they're so proud of it and everybody's celebrating them. And then we are told that, shh, don't talk about it. It's offensive. You're bigoted. You're a racist. You're a Nazi. Like, wow. The names I get called. Look at my Twitter bio. People call me all sorts of names because of everything I talk about. I pick the names and I put them in my bio. And it's just a collection of all the swear words that you've heard of a man being called. And it confuses the hell out of them. But that's how you see me. That's your misogyny that sees me that way. You call me a whore, it goes in my Twitter bio. This is on you. It's not on me.
Who called
you? It's a badge of honor. Everybody, Hannah. Oh my God. I get called a whore at least once a week on Twitter.
You're married.
Doesn't matter. I'm whoring myself to the Westerners.
Oh, I see. Okay.
See, that's the point they're trying to make. And then the Westerners think I'm a whore because I don't sit silently and just follow and just don't listen, and I'm just being rude and rebellious and loud and offensive. Like the
Yeah, no, and
things,
that's another part of this whole burqa thing, or even just sort of like some sort of expected dress code for females.
yeah,
Like anything, you used to have to wear like a skirt down to your ankles, and now if you're like even like approaching the knees, you're a slut, a
yeah,
whore, you're a
yeah.
tramp.
I,
You're obviously trying to
oh,
incite men and bring them all home for all
yeah,
sorts of
yes.
decadent, debaucherous pleasure. So
I can't just
yeah,
exist for my own pleasure. Like
yeah,
that's
and that's
not
the other
a
thing too. It's just like
possibility.
pleasure is a good thing, man. That's by
Yeah,
definition, pleasure is good.
yeah,
Why do we do it?
yeah,
Because it feels good. Now, just
yeah.
enjoy your body. I don't understand what the problem is. So okay, okay, so
Me and you both.
okay,
Yes.
good. Did you want to talk? If you don't want to, I understand. But did you want to talk a little bit more about what's going on in Iran?
It's painful.
Okay, we don't have to.
That's that's okay. Somebody should, because nobody else is. And it's hurtful. Like there was a point in my life that I decided I'm not part of the left anymore because they abandoned me. And then October 7 happened, and I'm just shocked at how they're treating Jewish women, Israelis. I'm like, and then this whole thing happened with Iran, and the most they're doing is arguing whether it's a genocide or a crime against humanity.
Right.
Like they're stuck in the semantics, and we are burying our dead.
There was Piers Morgan was a show like they had that saying like, would you call it genocide? Well, no, not technically. I call it more like ethnic cleansing. I'm like, really? I mean, really? That's the big difference there.
Can I swear right now? Yeah. Like, is that who cares?
Right.
Who they keep saying it's not a genocide because the government is killing its own
Right.
people, and it's
Right.
historically it's something that they can, like when they were exterminating the Jews, it was the Nazis who were doing it.
Right.
But when they're exterminating Iranians and it's the Islamic regime doing it, you can't like.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. I
Right.
apologize.
No, okay.
43,000 people. That's the latest number. It goes a lot higher. A lot higher. I'm like I believe 60,000. I saw a couple of times it's 100,000. I've seen the video. I've seen all the videos. There are trucks and mountains of dead bodies and body bags. Women's bodies are getting removed to a specific location. Their uterus is removed from their body in order to hide evidence of sexual assault.
Oh.
So they're doing it like children. 3-year-old girl, Melina Asadi, was murdered because she was going shopping with her dad. They shot her dead. Like I watched video after video after video of rivers of blood. There's so many bodies that they don't have a space to keep these bodies, so they're lining the streets. And people have to walk around, look for their dead. And there are a lot of these people are anonymous because they don't carry ID cards. Because we all know if you go out to protest, you don't take your phone, you don't take your ID card, you don't take anything that's an identification. Because when they arrest you, they'll use everything against you. So you don't take anything with you. You just go out and you protest. And then there are mountains of dead bodies, and people have to go unzip a body bag after another body bag after another body bag to find their own dead. And you see dead people with tubes and catheters coming out of their bodies, but there's a headshot. And then there were eyewitnesses, they recounting that they started going to hospitals and killing people in their hospital beds. People who went in to ask for help, who were injured. IRGC is going in and shooting them in the head.
Oh.
And then takes away the bodies. There are like things that I've heard and seen in the past month, David. I don't think I was never a normal human, but I don't think I'll ever be able to go back to what was before it. There's a level of evil that Westerners cannot understand.
Right.
I'm going to tell you this. Think about if I want to commemorate and honor one person who was murdered by the Islamic regime in the past month. Every day, I wake up and say, today I dedicate this day to this person. I'll talk about this person. I'll make a small video about it. I post on social media. It will take me 117 years and 8 months to talk about them all.
Wow.
This is how many they've killed. And that's 43,000 that everybody agrees upon at this point.
That's like the lowest estimate right now.
Yes.
The most conservative estimate. Yeah.
Yes.
So it could
Yeah.
easily be a lot higher.
It could be a lot higher. I've seen videos like I've got a 6-minute video of gunfire, rapid gunfire. 6 minutes. It's just live ammunition and they are killing people. It's not just, I don't know, paintball. It's not pellets. It's actual live ammunition. And people are like, but if you wanted to, you could actually fight them. Fight them how? We don't have guns.
You don't have guns. I was going to ask you if you had guns.
No, we don't have guns in Iran. We are not allowed to.
Not even men?
No.
Nobody?
Nobody. They won't allow it because they know what happens to them if people have guns. It's illegal. We don't have First Amendment. We don't have Second Amendment in Iran. So none of those. People are getting murdered by the Islamic regime in thousands. They are executing people in prisons without a court date and piling up bodies. I've heard a couple of different accounts of this situation that they're saying, number one, they are taking hefty fees, like $3,000, $4,000, and they call it a bullet fee. They used to do this right after the revolution. They would execute somebody who was a political prisoner, take the bullet fee, and then tell them he was buried in that mass grave over there. Not give them bodies, just tell them the location of where they buried this person. They are doing something similar now. They are calling it a bullet fee. It's about $3,000 to $4,000. Now, when I say $3,000 to $4,000, keep in mind that an average person working in Iran would earn about $100 to $125 US dollars per month. That's their salary. So they have to pay $3,000 to $4,000, sometimes $4,500. I've seen different numbers to get the dead body, just to give it a proper burial. Yeah. If you can't pay that amount, you have to sign a paper that says your child was part of the Basij system, was part of the police, was an IRGC member, and he was murdered by the terrorist protesters. So they will effectively execute more people that they have arrested by saying, you killed this person that we killed. And they are also executing people in prisons and in hospitals, as I said, and they are keeping the bodies because they are thinking if there's a war happening at some point in the future, we need to have a heap and a mountain of dead bodies and say, well, you see, the US strikes, these are the dead bodies, everybody died because of them. We didn't kill them. They are evil.
Yeah.
Beyond anybody's violence. It feels like a horror movie.
Yeah, no, I could easily see that. That's a good analogy. It's like you're living a horror movie. That's crazy. Why do you? This might be too big of a question to ask or answer like here on the show, but like, if you have a brief idea, why do you think the Muslim community across the world is like still like kind of caught back in the day as their approach to their own religion? Like, I mean, you can find similar sorts of things in the Old Testament against women. I mean, pro-slavery and all sorts of terrible things. They just don't do that anymore. Christianity, the New Testament, Paul says women aren't allowed to have authority over a man. Women aren't allowed to be educated. They're not allowed to speak in church. Women are degraded. These are patriarchal religions, all three of them. Yes. Why did the first two move on past at least that part of it? For the most part, you have small. I've seen small communities of different Christians and Jewish people who are still pretty not great, but very, very few. Why is it so drastically greater in the Islamic world? Why do you think that is?
Because there are verses in the Quran that say that this is the word of Allah, and you are not allowed to change it. You are not allowed to reform the Quran. Muhammad was the most perfect human on earth. His way of life was the most perfect way of life. We call that sunnah or sirah. And then we have hadith, which are stories about what happened to Muhammad. So they get verified. And if they're verified, they become part of the ethics and the ideology. And if you touch any of it, if you try to modernize any of it, if you try to reform any of it, you basically become an apostate. And apostasy is punishable by death.
I think that might be one of the big differences. Is I don't know about. I can't speak to Judaism, but Christianity. If you're a Christian and you leave Christianity,
you're done.
That's it. You don't get. They don't kill you.
No. No. But the number of death threats I get for being an ex-Muslim is staggering. In Quran, it says if Surah Nisa, which is called the women, Surah for women, the chapter for women, there is a part that says, there's a verse that says, if you fear rebellious from your women, beat them. Strike them, beat them. So it basically allows, that's the reason behind men, my male guardian or my dad or whatever, whoever men I have in my life, being able to kill me if they fear rebelliousness.
Good Lord.
So they won't be punished because according to the Quran, they are just doing whatever Allah said. So you are not allowed to make changes. There was a man who was executed in Iran about 10 years ago because all he did was, he said, the story behind Jonas being in the body of the whale, which is in the Quran as well, that's an allegory.
Of course it is.
No, see, that's
well,
a
I know plenty of like evangelical Christians and Catholics who think it's a literally historic tale. I mean, come on.
They hanged him. They hanged him for saying it's yeah. I bet you're just regretting talking to me at this point because all I have is just horror stories.
No, this is why I wasn't,
But look at the I know, but look at what this is, the whole religion. And then I come to the West and there are people who are trying to reform this religion. There are people who are trying to fight whatever the traditional religion is. And then they are shushed and they're told that they are offensive for trying to do this. Like we are not allowed to criticize our own religion. We are not allowed to talk about our suffering. We are not allowed to talk about what's wrong with Islam because they think, well, this is offensive to them. You're offending them. I don't care.
Right.
They should be offended.
Exactly. There was, did you hear about Salman Rushdie back in the day and the satanic verses? And I don't even know what exactly he did. He wrote something about.
It's a book. He wrote a book.
And then like the entire, like, what is it called? You put a bounty on his head and that kind of thing. And like just death threats all over the place. And there was some place in Texas that had like an art competition and somebody drew a picture of Muhammad and like, oh man, holy cats. Okay, that's weird, but
people get beheaded in like I don't know if you remember Charlie Hebdo's like the terrorist attack, that they had a bomb because they drew pictures of Muhammad. They had a bomb in their offices, and this is just a caricature, not really good group of people like making caricature of stuff, and they had bomb attacks. People died. I think 12 or 13 people died.
Wow.
It's scary the way they protect this ideology. So people stop talking. Ayaan Hirsi Ali she had a friend in the Netherlands called Theo van Gogh, and they made a movie. They made a 20-minute video. They murdered Theo.
Wow.
They stabbed him in the heart with a note for Ayaan that you're next. Because she dared talk about, she's from Somalia. She was an ex-Muslim. She's a Christian now. She talked about her own suffering and her own trauma and her own, like, no, you're not allowed to. Like, how is that fair?
It's not fair. It's not right regardless. I mean, it's just, again, you should be free to criticize anything, any idea or ideology or system or whatever else, Again, I have a philosophy degree. Well, that's all you do is you criticize. And
then if I'm wrong, you argue with me.
Right.
You prove me wrong. You tell me, like,
you use reason.
Thank you. It's still a thing, right?
So I try to use it daily, but I don't know about other people.
Yeah, it's good to know. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. So I don't want to keep you too long past an hour, and we're almost at an hour now. So would you talk about the organization with Yasmin Clarity?
Clarity Coalition. So when I talk about reformists, this is part of it. Like we are a group of, and I got really lucky because Yasmin has already done the bulk of the work. So she co-founded this Clarity Coalition, this coalition of Muslims, ex-Muslims, Jews, Christians, atheists, scholars, activists. They get together and everybody is more than welcome to join if you want to help. Our major goal is fighting Islamism and fighting the threat of anti-Semitism. So it's very important for us to combat both because we see them both as extremely dangerous things happening simultaneously in the West. And we have a newsletter that's coming out at the end of this month in a couple of days. So it's our first newsletter, and we are creating a sort of newspaper newsletter kind of thing online, clear insights on Substack that you can sign up to and you can subscribe. We have really a very good group of people who want to do good in the world. It feels a safe space for us all to talk about what we want to do and how we can use whatever we have at our disposal. Somebody's good at writing, they write. Somebody's good with technology, they help. Like it's a bunch of us trying to actually make a difference in the world and expose the actual problem. We have people from Europe, we have from the US, Canada, we have different committees. So if anybody is interested, go to claritycoalition.com. You can join on the website. And then we have a membership committee that goes through the application. It's a very fun group of people to be with because you feel grounded. You feel like, okay, I'm not alone in this world. I'm not flailing. I'm actually doing some good with the pain that was handed down to me. So it's a lovely group of people. And I would suggest everybody who's listening to go on claritycoalition.com and to join us. At least subscribe on Substack to get the newsletter.
Substack, right? Claritycoalition.com. Substack.
Yes. Yes.
Get the newsletter. Okay, sounds good. I'm going to check that out for sure. Is there anything you wanted to say before we end the show? Anything like you feel like you wanted to say before and they get it out there? Or? We covered a lot.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you. I appreciate knowing sane people are still out there, David. It's that kind of a month right now. Please talk about Iran. If you hear something, if you verify your stories, not everything is actually true because there's a lot of AI and there's a lot of propaganda and the regime is evil. But if you have a couple of resources that you trust, amplify the voices, amplify the stories, talk about it, keep the stories alive because Trump said the help is on the way, help is coming, and it didn't come. And there are a lot of people who are arrested, a lot of people who are in hospitals or hiding in their homes because they can't go to the hospitals. People are dying, and the regime will take revenge. It will not stop here at 43,000 or 60,000. Every single human that lives in Iran is living under martial law. There's a digital blackout. They have access to nothing. The poverty is just getting really bad because people can't work anymore. Keep talking about Iran because help needs to come because people inside Iran cannot fight this regime on their own. They're empty-handed. They're getting slaughtered. They're getting massacred. I don't know what kind of words you want to use for it. Just talk about Iran.
Those all work.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's horrifying. The images I see, you don't see as many now over the last like week or so because of the probably the shooting of an ambulance. But for a while, I was seeing a bunch of images and videos and stuff like that, and it's intense, man. It's really intense. And like you said, you can hear the gunshots in the background.
Yeah,
it's horrifying to watch. And I'm sorry that I'm assuming you still have family over there.
Yes, everybody's there. Everybody's there. And I didn't even know my mom or my dad were alive for about 3 weeks.
Wow.
It felt like hell.
They went back there?
They are in Iran, yeah. They come visit and then they go because everybody's there. Their parents are there. My cousins are there, sisters, but everybody. We have a whole clan of people. And I don't know if they're alive or not. My mom says they're alive. I choose to believe her at this point because I know I'll fall apart and I can't just, I need to use my voice to talk. Because they don't have a voice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Sara Ghorbani, for sharing all of that. That is important and intense stuff. And again, I'm sorry you had to go through all that, and that there's a lingering effect of it all, a negative one. I'm sorry about that. But you are clearly coming across as a very strong woman. And
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. And you're getting yourself and your voice out there, which is good.
Thank
so
you.
if you ever want to come back on this show again and talk more about it, I'm sure there's a lot more we could discuss, even though we discussed quite a bit. You're always
It'll be
welcome.
my pleasure and my honor, David. Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
And you're in Toronto, Canada?
Yes.
Okay. The Blue Jays, are you into sports at all? No. Okay.
We were not allowed as a child, so I never
really
had the experience.
picked up on it?
No.
Sports are fun.
It's so foreign to me right now when people talk about like baseball and hockey. I'm like, I don't understand.
Right.
That.
No, I get it.
I understand oppression. I understand trauma. Talk to me about that.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. Thank you so
much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, David. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you. Thank you.
Hold on one second, please, Sarah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Let's Talk Lake County. I'm your host, David Rich. Till next time, keep talking. All right. Hold on one second.
Thank you.
Yep.